Before I start this video, I just want to say I'd like to thank Al Heyman. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. You guys see the title. Let's talk about it. A lot of stuff happening in boxing. I'm trying to get to all of it. Keith Thurman, Robert Guerrero is one of those fights I am highly looking forward to. Before I get into more of the breakdown, let's start with Kenny Bayless will be the referee for this particular match. Now, it could be good or bad. I really like Kenny Bayless as a referee. He hasn't really had bad performances. The only one that comes to mind that I could really think of off the top of my head was Floyd Mayweather versus Marcos Maidana 2. I thought he meddled with the action a little bit too much for my taste, and I think the best referee is a referee that you don't even realize is there, but they have complete control of what's going on. I thought in the Mayweather Maidana 2 rematch, I thought Kenny Bayless was maybe a little bit too impartial or sympathetic to Floyd Mayweather's gripes and complaints or whatever you want to call, and he lulled the action in spots. No excuse. Maidana lost convincingly. The only thing he really did of note was that punch at the end of the third round. He just didn't look as energized and motivated. So I'm not blaming Kenny Bayless on Maidana losing, but I think in that particular fight, he was involved a little bit too much. So this fight is a great fight, and I hope he doesn't really interfere with the action. Like if they're in the pocket and there's a clinch or there's one free hand, let those guys work out of the clinch, because this is what I want to see. I want to see, this is going to be a good test, and like the title says, this is going to turn a boy to a man. It's that type of fight. To me, it's like a tell-all book. We're going to really get to learn about Robert the Ghost Guerrero and Keith one-time Thurman, because this is a tough test. They even said it themselves that they're going to beat each other's toughest test. So I'm looking forward to it, because Keith Thurman, on one hand, he has this devastating power. A lot of people weren't content with his last performance against Leonard Bundu, and he has something to prove. And most likely, being KOs for life, a KO artist, he's going to come in with a chip on his shoulder. Robert Guerrero, same thing. He had a Fight of the Year candidate in his last fight with Kamagai. He stepped up to the big leagues, fought Floyd Mayweather, came up way short. I thought that was pretty one-sided beyond the second, third round. And he wants to solidify himself as a top welterweight. So both guys have a lot of ammunition. And even bigger ammunition is the timing of this. That this is an Al Heyman fight and the first ever NBC primetime showcase fight. So that's a lot. I mean, nobody wants to get knocked out on national TV, let alone primetime TV. Primetime NBC, all you have to have is an antenna, and you probably can get NBC. It's not like Showtime or HBO or pay-per-view where you have to purchase it and have a subscription to it. A lot of people get NBC, even if they don't get the premium channels. So both guys, I feel, are going to be energized and invigorated, because it's the first ever event. So it's kind of like all eyes on me, and it's a good card. You got Broner, John Molina on the undercard. I got something I'm working on. I'm going to drop that soon. Not going to really reveal too much details, but be on the lookout for that. Something new that I'm adding to the channel. And I'm looking forward to Guerrero versus Keith Thurman. And just as far as an update, Robert Guerrero, he's in my neck of the woods. He's training. I know some people that were there. And the dude looks pretty massive. He looks like he's filled into the welterweight division pretty nicely. At first, when he fought guys like Selçuk Aydin, granted, he jumped up 2 weight classes, was off of a long layoff with dealing with cancer with his wife. He looked small. He didn't really look like a true welterweight, but the dude is big, and I struggled to understand how he was even making featherweight all those years, because it looks like his metabolism and his frame is pretty big, so I don't see how he's crunching his body. That just goes to show you what these boxers go through. You know what I mean? They're grown-ass men, and growing, be like 25, 26, 27, 28, crunching their body down and losing, dropping all this crazy weight to get to a featherweight size, you know what I mean? Knowing damn well that they're 5'9" or 5'10" or whatever. So it just goes to show you what these athletes put their body through is pretty rigorous. So I'm looking forward to it. It looks like Keith Thurman is training real hard. He's out in Florida. And this is going to be a telling fight. Like I said, we're going to see who rises to the occasion. It's going to turn a boy to a man. And both fighters have a lot to prove. Let me know what you guys think of Kenny Bayless as the referee. Do you think that's a good selection for this particular fight? Like I said, I don't care who's refereeing. I like Kenny Bayless. I just want to see good action and let them fight. I want to see how Keith Thurman will respond if in fact Robert Guerrero comes out bold like he did with Andre Berto and tries to smother and maul him and kind of use some of those dirty tactics. How is Keith Thurman? Because this is the thing with the power puncher. Sometimes, just sometimes, if you're a KO artist and a power puncher, you don't like getting backed up. You don't like when someone is fearless and brings the fight to you. And then for Robert Guerrero, it's going to be telling because I think over the years, he's kind of listened to his father or something, and he's seeming less like the ghost and more right there in front of you in stationary in his face. Before, I used to see more boxing, more technical boxing and fundamental boxing. Now he's kind of evolved into more of a slugger, which could prove to be dangerous against a powerful guy like Keith Thurman. And Robert Guerrero has a chin, so a lot of different dynamics. Robert Guerrero's the best name on Keith Thurman's resume after they fight, so we'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think of Kenny Bayless and this update video. Make sure you like my video. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.